All right. This is my first time doing a live stream, so I'll just get right into it. So obviously, you guys can see that I've changed kind of the format and stuff of how I'm doing these, and I actually figured out how to live stream, which actually works better for me and creating content and videos versus me making videos and editing them because that just takes too much of my time. So I'm just going to live stream from now on. I see another YouTuber who I follow that's kind of become his format, and now I see why he does it. It's a lot more efficient. So I'm gonna have a few segments on here now that I have time to surf the internet and do some more free things. Now that I'm done, kind of done with my coaching for the season. So we're going to revisit the Carmelo Anthony thing. I think we are on day 3 of the trial, but let's have a little recap here as to what the Carmelo Anthony issue is, because I want to talk about things that have actually happened. Because I know I had another video talking about this, and I know there's a whole lot of pushback in the comments about it. It's my number one most commented video, which is mainly just a conversation me and some lady got into back and forth. But we're gonna revisit the Carmelo Anthony thing. Where I'm gonna see if I've been trying to find a video that recaps what happened, but like doesn't exist anymore. So as usual, YouTube scrubs videos, which I'm pretty sure that there's probably so many videos made that they probably didn't want their servers, filled up with that. That's also possible. But I just find it interesting that you really can't find any old videos on it. So I found this video. Hopefully, he does a good job recapping it. It's 25 minutes. I'm not going to react to all 25 minutes of it, but I am going to see if this adequately recaps the Carmelo Anthony situation as we know it. And we'll probably also hit the comments section. Maybe not. It's kind of late for me right now. I'm doing this really late at night. It's like it's past 2 a.m. But here we are.
There's no self-defense, because if you are afraid the day before, where you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? You getting ready to run track with other kids and you got a knife on you. No, man, you got to go to jail.
Talking about he had a knife. You damn right. If you a black man living in America, you better be walking around with a talking about he had a knife. You got white boys riding around with guns and y'all crying about a knife.
Yeah, that is true. But I'm going to skip past some of this stuff and see if we can just get right to what actually happened. See if we can get some of that. Okay, looks like this is what's talking about it. I don't want to see too much about other people commenting on it. Let's see if we can go from here.
You are part of the problem, my friend.
A confrontation between two teens
All right, here we go.
left one dead and the country divided. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the criminal case of Karmelo Anthony. April 2nd, 2025, it was 10 a.m. when the Staley Middle School resource officer heard over the radio there was a stabbing at the school track field. Frisco police would alert nearby officers an athlete was the victim, and the suspect was a black male wearing a gray hoodie and blue sweatpants. The school officer rushed to the stadium where two teens told him the victim was under the Memorial High School 10.
Yeah, speaking of, has anybody seen the police report? I mean, I know it came out a while ago, but I've noticed a lot of people haven't been airing the police report. This video is a year old. Matter of fact, hold on, let's go. Who is this? Is End of Sentence, by the way. I saw another videos of there today that I want to react to. Matter of fact, is it over here my suggested? No, it's not. There's another video of theirs though, right here. But yeah.
Approaching the tent, an adult would point out the suspect, who remained on the track, separated from the officer by a chain link fence. The officer commanded the suspect to keep his hands in the air, and the suspect complied, saying, "I was protecting myself." As the officer placed the suspect in handcuffs, the suspect said, "He put his hands on me." The officer sat the suspect on the ground while advising backup over the radio. He had the alleged suspect. The suspect then stated, "I'm not alleged, I did it." By this point, the suspect had the right to remain silent. He just didn't have the ability. While walking him to the police vehicle,
I want us to ignore some of those side comments like that. Just try to focus on what is actually being said and not like little comments. And that's the thing. Like I'm doing a reaction video, and I'm trying to recap this, and I have to pause it every so often because I see that he has music. I don't know if it's copyrighted or not, but since I can't find an official news video that actually just goes through it line by line, because all of those are probably scrubbed off the YouTube servers, this is the best I got. This is definitely the best I'm going to do right now at like after 2 a.m. But here we are. I can't sleep, by the way. That's why I'm kind of doing this. Once I found out I could do this, it's like, ooh, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna have time tomorrow to really make a video, but here we are.
Suspect became emotional, crying hysterically as he said, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." While in the back seat, he then asked officers if the victim was going to be okay. The suspect would identify himself as 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, a student from Frisco Centennial High. While this was going on, athletic trainers along with the Frisco Fire Department were attempting to save the victim. The weather turned to a heavy downpour of rain, causing the fire department to place a tent over the victim. A police officer began using his phone to photograph the crime scene, as others began taping off the area and moving non-essential people out of the stadium. Officers were informed the weapon used had been tossed, with a witness stating it was in the bleachers. Officers discovered the folding knife, partially open and still bloody, deciding to cover it with a tarp. An officer grabbed a backpack to weigh the tarp down, noticing it was the only backpack from Centennial High.
This is the tarp, by the way, for those that maybe don't know. I heard that from, I forgot where I got it from, but yeah, this is the actual blue tarp. And I think the knife, there looks like an evidence tag. The knife is somewhere here, but apparently there's like a little bit of blood running down, so they wanted to preserve the scene by putting a tarp over. But yeah, this actually is the scene, and this is the tarp. I'm pretty sure most of you know the case, but again, I have to pause this every so often just to kind of get some of this stuff in.
As all the others were from Memorial, it was later discovered this was the suspect's backpack. The victim, identified as 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, was a Memorial High student. Investigators would learn the stadium was hosting a track and field championship. Everything played out. Austin told the suspect, Karmelo.
Also, when they say that Karmelo ran off, allegedly he ran down this way and went through this little this is like actually like a little stairway, and they kind of mentioned it, or they showed it earlier. Yeah, it's somewhere in there, but you get the point. So when they say he ran behind the bleachers, that's where he went. He goes down this way and goes into that
He needed to move out from under their team's tent. Not only did Karmelo go to a different school, he was under their tent wearing Centennial High clothing. Karmelo grabbed his backpack, opened it, and reached inside, telling Austin, "Touch me and see what happens." The witness told officers no one really thought Karmelo had any weapons, so Austin proceeded to touch Karmelo. Karmelo then told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later, Austin grabbed Karmelo to tell him to move, and Karmelo pulled out what the witness described as a black knife, stabbing Austin once in the chest before running away. Austin began grabbing his chest, telling everyone to get help, and shortly after, he'd lose consciousness, stop breathing, and never wake up again.
Yeah, that's because he got stabbed in, like, I think they said the aorta. I'm going to skip a little bit ahead here just because you should probably know some of these details.
Identified as the victim's younger brother. He was unable to say much, but his friends said they were sitting on the bleachers under the Memorial High School tent. A male wearing a different school's clothes came and sat down, so Austin told him since he didn't go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. While arguing, Austin was stabbed and the suspect ran. Austin's younger brother held on to his older brother as he lost consciousness, bleeding out in his brother's arms. It was 10:46 a.m. when Austin was brought into the trauma bay at the hospital. 7 minutes later, he was pronounced dead. His heart had been pierced, and he bled to death. Officers listed student witnesses from Lebanon High, Liberty High, Memorial High, Frisco High, Independence High, and Emerson High. Centennial High's head coach told officers he heard his athlete confess to the stabbing, while 2 coaches from Independence High School witnessed the stabbing. Karmelo Anthony would be charged with first-degree murder.
I'm actually glad he's going into all this because recent evidence is now showing that a lot more happened. And I want to get into that probably like in another video. But we'll see. Because, it was always said that, it's just like this small group of guys, but allegedly there's some surveillance footage that's now been released to the jury in the Karmelo Anthony case that that there was a lot more people around than what was alleged to believe. Because they'll make it sound like it was just these couple of guys and no one really saw much, but that seems to be not the case. But we'll see what's fact and what's fiction. But we'll keep this going.
And transported to the Collin County Jail. Under Texas law, even at 17 years old, Karmelo could and would be charged as an adult. His bond would be set at $1 million. Immediately following his arrest, social media would divide.
Okay, we're done right there. So yeah, that's Karmelo Anthony. The situation kind of explained in a nutshell. I don't want to get too far into it because some of the details aren't too unknown to everybody else. But one thing I do want to see. Here's Nate the lawyer. I forgot what Nate the lawyer is.
Check out Directed by Takashi.
Keep your hands to yourself. That's what needs to be taught here. And to tell this young brother to give up your seat, give me your seat. This ain't no damn Rosa Parks era. You just can't go to a young black man and say
1 year ago. I can't find any videos oldish than that. Well, I mean, that's pretty hard. Let's see if we can get the actual date. April 27th. Okay, so yeah, it's over a year ago, really.
Give up your seat. He had a right to sit there. And so that brother had his back of the bus moment and refused to give up his seat, and it cost that young white kid his life.
Oh, sorry. Then Anthony told him, oh, well, now you have to punch me. Punch me and see what happens.
I can't stand this dude. This guy right here. I forget his name. Hold on. What is it? Yeah, but this guy. Yeah, he's one of those racist dudes. I mean, I was trying to find a softer way to say it, but it is what it is.
What he's trying to do.
Yeah, that's not his shtick, but like he just says stuff that's like, bro, really? He may do it for reviews and to be inflammatory. As you can see, he's on Rumble, but still.
In my opinion, is escalate this situation to justify what he is already made up in his mind. He has already decided he wants to kill this white boy. That's what he's decided. And now he's armed inside of his backpack. He's escalating it on purpose. He could walk away. No one's keeping him there. And he is purposely escalating it in his mind because he thinks, oh, I'm going to get a free kill here. I'm going to get to take this boy's life, and then I'll go tell the cops it was self-defense. Austin then grabbed Anthony to tell him.
Yeah, I also want to talk about the false narratives that are going around through all of this stuff, because there really is like a whole lot of, oh, he woke up and meant to kill him. And there's like no evidence for like most of this stuff, but people just take it and run with it, which is another danger, which I get why they say they want to block the internet and stuff to prevent stuff like that from happening, but you're not going to, because people just want to see what it is that they want to see in certain situations, which is why I'm doing these videos now on Karmelo Anthony, because we're going to go through some comment sections and some other videos, and I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I should call it a segment, like the racism that doesn't exist, and then just go through all these different comment sections of videos. Matter of fact, let's just do it now. We'll do it live. So we're live. Let's just do it now. We'll let this play, and then we'll scroll through and see some of the comments. And this is Nate the lawyer reacting to the situation and this guy. And this is a year ago.
Move and
I want to do a year ago because this is when all of the comments were happening kind of in lifetime.
That's where he stabbed him.
Yep.
Carmelo Anthony deliberately escalated this situation to, in his mind, justify taking this kid's life.
As you can see, the left and the right are spinning this like insane stuff. But
That is very true. The spin is outrageous.
I'm here to give you the facts.
That's up for debate. I mean, I like Nathan Lawyer on some stuff, but he will tap dance when it comes to his audience. I mean, tiggity tap dance.
Now, before we get started, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Goldcrest Metals.
Yep, skipping that. Here we go.
The pinned comment for those of you who are too lazy to actually type it into a browser. And again, that's gold. Now we're gonna look. Now first, let me introduce you to Karmelo Anthony. He's a 17-year-old and he lives in North.
Oh, he's gonna.
Prosecutors are going to use.
Yeah.
Court says this witness was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-up.
Sorry, yeah, he's gonna review it too. Well, we probably should have listened to his review first. It's probably a lot shorter, but.
Well, again, based on the witness statements, Anthony was being assaulted by Austin, who essentially was trying to remove him from the tent. And now, since Anthony was the one being assaulted, he legally can employ self-defense to repel that attack. As an example, if Anthony slaps Austin, or if Anthony punches Austin in the face, that would be appropriate based on the level of force that's being used against Anthony. But Anthony then pulls out a knife and
So yeah, again, Nate the lawyer is a lawyer. He'll talk about the legality of certain issues and actions. I'll probably pop in and out of his videos depending on what the topic is, but that's his main shtick. But again, he's just like his conservative audience. I mean, I know I'm a conservative too, but he will pander when it comes to race issues, like how he was all for what's his name? The incident down in Georgia. With the construction site and the house, Ahmaud Arbery. He was all for the Ahmaud Arbery. He's guilty. Throw him in jail. He shouldn't have been. Blah 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 blah. Then when the trial happened, he got real quiet, and it was just like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess he wasn't doing anything. All right, moving on. This is like, yeah, but whatever. It's America. It's the same old, same old.
and stabs Austin. So now that moves us to a discussion about self-defense and whether Anthony is going to be successful in his claims of self-defense. And
okay, well, he did do self-defense, and everyone's been saying that he hasn't. But let's just go in the comment section for a little bit. I don't remember the part of the story where Rosa brought a knife on the bus and stabbed the guy who wanted her seat. Yeah, so had Rosa brought a knife and she got stabbed, she probably just would have been gunned down. They would have threw her dead body off the bus, and it would have never been a national incident, because that's how things were back in the South back then. Austin Metcalf dad was asked to leave Carmelo Anthony's press conference, and he didn't stab anyone. Again, not the same situation. Austin's dad wasn't being assaulted. The phrase "touch me again, see what happens" is an expression of a desire. Oh, it's not an expression of a desire to avoid conflict. Rather, it's an expression of willingness to engage. This constitutes escalation. Yeah, see, that's another one of those mess around and find out kind of mentalities, or contradictory to that, where, in one situation it's mess around and find out, but then when the victim is a certain skin color, then it's, oh, well, you can't say that. I like what Sergeant Willie Pete said. We should probably go look at his video or react to some of his stuff, where it's like, they really just want black people just to sit there and just take whatever behaviors come to them, which is pretty much the case. Touch me and see what happens is basically go ahead and make my day. Yeah, see, go ahead and make my day. Dirty Harry quote. That was seen as upstanding and like, yeah, try me. Again, FAFO. You wanna look for it. You gonna find it. Telling someone touch me and see what happens, or punch me and see what happens, is not a warning. It's a threat. No, it is a warning. Again, context always matters. Regardless of all of this BS, he killed the boy for no reason. Simple as that. I would say it was not a reason. Again, accidental death, manslaughter. But again, these are comments from a year ago. I'm showing these comments because these are the comments that people say aren't happening in real life. You don't get to stab him just because he was impolite. That is true, but again, that's not what allegedly happened. Best factually law explanation. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, that was. Oh, I don't know. I thought that was more recent. Yeah, these are all the popular comments, and the guys who got in, you can see all these comments are a year old, but you can't instigate violence and then claim self-defense. That's not how the law works. That actually is true, but again, Karmelo didn't instigate violence. Austin did. I'm not sure how many times we have to go through this. I mean, all of the narratives are not always based on facts. I'm sorry, that's not what I wanted to say. Not all of the talking points are based on facts. Like it's already been established that Austin's the one who made first physical contact. So sitting here acting like Karmelo, jumped in from the sky and stabbed Austin, like that's a common viewpoint that is taken, but is highly inaccurate. But people just refuse to let that go, which also goes to show to the racism that they say doesn't exist. But anyway, as a parent who still has a child in high school, I'll be devastated if it happens to my son. Rest in peace, Austin. Yeah, okay. Yeah, brings a knife to a school. By the way, yeah, it was not at school. It was the offsite location. None of the schools were there, so they were not at a high school. That's another narrative that keeps getting spouted around. Like, well, why are you bringing knives to school? It's like it wasn't a school. And again, this is Texas. Like, in this the same places, from my cold dead hands, and I should be able to have a rocket launcher in Starbucks. Like, in this that same state. So I don't understand what we're over here talking about a folding pocket knife for. Like, stop it. Anyway, I'm getting tired. I should probably log off. How long is this video? 22 minutes? Yeah. I'm probably going to wrap this up. We'll go through some more comments and stuff at a later time. But, yeah, that's kind of it. Just going to wrap this up here. Thank you guys for joining me on this live stream. I know I'm only on here for 20 minutes. Hopefully this makes a video in of itself. When I'm less tired, I'll do a longer video, but this is going to be the new format where I just kind of look at videos, react to them, look at the comments section. I'll probably get a lot better at doing this as I do more of it. But, again, now that I'm out of season, I will definitely I'll definitely let's view my channel, see what that looks like. I'll definitely be doing more videos like this to where we can hey, look, we're live. Have more discussion on some of these things and see some of the things that people say don't exist. So actually, this is John's opinion, the new site. I like my AI generated stuff here. I don't look like this, by the way, in real life, but it looked nice. But it says, observe, analyze. That's exactly what we do here. So, like I said, this is a YouTube channel where I share my thoughts and opinions on things that I see. So here's the other Carmelo Anthony video. I should probably react to my own Carmelo Anthony video. That'd be quite interesting. But yeah, I just I can't do videos and stuff like I used to. Like these 40-minute videos, 20-minute video, 20-minute videos, things of that nature, just because I kind of don't have the time. So it's better if I just kind of sit and talk. And I think I say stuff in the moment that's a lot better than when I kind of practice it. And a lot of these videos I talk anyway. So like, what's the point in going back and trying to re-listen and fix stuff? I don't really have an audience to change it anyway. So anyway. That is it from me. This is the new channel, John's Opinion. Actually may change it again. I think I like John Search the Internet. What do y'all think? I don't know. Anyway, see you later.